The next thing that we want to do is to create a route where we can get all the news articles. Just like we have a route to get all the stocks right here, we can create a route to get all the news articles. So let's see, what do we need to display news articles? We need a source, title, and image name. Maybe I should call it image URL instead of image name. Okay. All right. So let's go back over here to ChatGPT. Create an express route, which is, let's say, I guess I'll call it articles, which will return news articles. Each article can have source, what else? Title, and also image URL. For image URL, just point to some random image and add 10 articles. I mean, we can do 5, I guess, but there we go. All right, so let's see what's going on. I don't know why it's telling me to install Express. I guess that's fine. All right. Placeholder, I guess it's using some sort of a placeholder image for the articles. That's fine too. Okay, everything looks pretty good. Wow, I should not have said 10. All right, okay, but anyways, there we go. We can copy all of this. Yeah, these are dummy articles, we know that. And then we can go over here. Actually, let me copy one by one, right? I know I can copy the whole thing, but let me just copy the articles itself. So I'm just going to copy articles. And, well, I guess it's creating these articles somewhere on the top. I thought it's going to create it inside the action. I mean, we can do that, but it's not a big deal. And now I can go ahead and create a route for articles. Now, if I go and change it over here and I call it articles, there we go. We got all the articles. I can also show you in a different way. And there we go. I wonder what the image is. Let's see if the image actually, oh, it doesn't work actually. The image does not really work. Yeah, it's just a placeholder. So it doesn't work. I wonder if there's a, yeah, see that? Is there a way to create these images like in a different way? Isn't there a lorem ipsum for image? I thought there was. Oh, for photos. Okay, I guess this is it. All right, I guess I can just use this. Let's go back over here. For image URL, use this. I guess it may return us something like random or whatever. So now it's going to write the whole thing again. And for image URL, it's just going to use the one that I just provided. And it's going to return us 10, which is, I think, a lot. Let's hold on a second. Don't return 10 articles. Make it 5. Yeah, because 10 is too much. All right, 5 should be okay, hopefully. All right, and that's the only thing that we want. So I can just grab this over here and change the articles. 10 articles, too much. Let's just change it to 5. Perfect. I can probably go and refresh it. And let's see what this image is. Okay, some random image. All right. I wonder if all of these images will be different or same. Okay, so they're all different. So that's good. All right, great. So we got our server working. We added the articles. There are 5 articles. We have a route like this one. This is all good. The next thing that I want to do is I want to consume this, right? So I'm going to go back to my HTTP client, and I can copy this code from HTTP client right there. and I can go back to ChatGPT, update HTTP client so it can, let's see what it's saying, fetch articles. So just like we have fetch stocks, we can have fetch articles. Now, in this case, you might be wondering, wait, I don't want to create these separate functions. I want a generic HTTP client. I mean, you can create a generic HTTP. Just tell it to create generic HTTP client, and it will create a generic HTTP client for you. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this part now. All right. And we can probably put it right there. Now it is complaining about the article itself. Let's go back. Create the article model, unless it has already created. Oh, it has already created that. All right, awesome. I can copy that. And in the models, I can go ahead and say new file, article. There we go. Let's go ahead and build it just to see it builds correctly. Perfect. All right. So this is good. We have implemented the article server route using Express. And the next thing that we want to do is to display it. So how should we display it? Let's see. So this is a content view that we have, right? We already have the HTTP client. I wonder if I can just copy all of this code. The problem is that whenever I copy the code, it actually changes a little bit of the code, and that becomes a little bit annoying. So I'm going to copy all of this code. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to say, update the following code to display articles using HTTP client. All right, so it's a lot of code. Now it's going to go through all of this code. A lot of the code is not actually changed. You can see that it's also writing these comments saying that this is articles. And I'm making it kind of like simple because we only have one view, content view, and we are only displaying the articles over here. If I was supposed to be like sharing these articles or stocks with the whole app, then I would probably use some sort of an observable object, put it in the environment object, and so on. But just keeping it simple. All right. Okay, this is all fine. I think it's still working on some stuff. Now, I'm sure that when we paste this, it's going to look a little bit different. Hopefully not, but it may look a little bit different because every time it does that, it creates some weird stuff. And another thing that you note over here is how it automatically updated to use the async image instead of the image. Remember the image? Yeah, it's not using that anymore. All right, let's go ahead and copy the code. Go back. I'm going to go ahead and paste it. And let's see. There is a problem. Let's go ahead and see what problem is. So it's saying that remove that. Okay. Maybe that part is something that it changed. So you don't have to provide the label for the hex. Okay, let's see over here. Well, no, nothing is getting displayed over here. Okay, that's kind of weird. And the other thing is that you can already see that it has changed some parts of it, right? So the stock list looks fine, but top stories definitely not getting displayed. So now we need to find out what exactly is going on. We have the load stocks, we have the load articles. I don't see anything in the console that can tell us that there's something wrong with that. We are fetching the articles, and I think once we fetch the articles, then we do the top story. So it should go over here and display something, but it's not doing that. All right. What about the URL? Let's go to the HTTP client. See that? I forgot to tell it that what will be the URL. So let me go back over here and just copy it, copy link. Everything else hopefully should be okay, but the URL we forgot to update. Let's go back again. Okay, awesome. Okay. Kind of weird that it, it's like see-through, but at least we can see the articles. All right. Okay, so that's pretty good. Um, let's see where we are, right? Top stories view. I think this is the view that displays everything, right? So I'm going to go ahead and say, copy it. It's already giving it some sort of a background color. See that? All right. And I'll say, can you make the following view opaque? So it means that we shouldn't be able to like see through it. So let's see that we can, if it can actually fill this out and make it a little bit more opaque. So it's kind of like solid. All right. Well, I thought it was called opaque. Maybe I'm mistaken with the correct wording over here. But let's go ahead and see what it looks like. I think we don't have to pass in the hex anymore because it changed that. No, it's still kind of like weird. You can see that it's kind of like coming on the top, right? Okay, let's ask it. When I drag the top stories view, I can see it is transparent when on top of stock list. Make it not transparent. Okay. So let's see what's going on. Background color, if you like to keep the original background color but with no transparency, here's the updated version. I think the updated version over here is the old one. So this might be something that we'll have to drill down and see what exactly is going on, because it may not be able to fix these issues for us. All right. And you can see, yeah, so you can see that it's transparent over here. All right. The other thing is opacity is 1. I mean, it's fully opaque, so that it's by default, so we don't really have to do that part. But somehow I think the background color is not coming out to be good. You can see that. Maybe the background color of all of it would be something different. All right. So this is something that we'll have to take a look at, that what exactly is going on. But I think we're on the right track, because you can see that we displayed all of these different things, all of the stocks, and we are also displaying all of this information, and the images, all of it is coming from, from the server. And there are some minor issues like this one, so we need to see how we can fix these things.